ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। Ajātasatru Vidya Prakasha. This is from second chapter of Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. So in this particular chapter, chapter 14 of Anubhuti Prakasha, Vidyaranya Muni summarizes three Brahmanas. Name is Ajātasatru Vidya Prakasha. In this second chapter, first Brahmana is Ajātasatru Brahmana, second Brahmana is Shishu Brahmana, third is Murta Brahmana. There are other Brahmanas also, that is, fourth is Maitreyi Brahmana, fifth is Madhu Brahmana, sixth is Vansha Parampara of Madhu Vidya. Total 6 Brahmanas are there. Whereas in this chapter, that is 14, entitled as Ajātasatru Vidya Prakasha, Vidyaranya Muni summarizes the first 3 chapters, first 3 Brahmanas, namely Ajātasatru Brahmana, Shishu Brahmana, Murta Brahmana. The teaching of these 3 Brahmanas are summarized in this Ajātasatru Vidya Prakasha. Take the first stanza. Ajātasatruradhyaye chaturthe brahmanaistribhihi. I think it should be brahmanai. Some I have not verified. Should be brahmanaihi, but anyway. Vidyam balakaye prahatam vispashtamito bruve. Vidyam balakaye prahatam vispashtamito bruve. Ajātasatruhu chaturthe adhyaye tribhihi brahmanaihi. Take it brahmana. Next time I will tell you, it should be brahmana only. Agar brahmana is brahmana only. Tribhihi brahmanaihi balakaye vidyam praha. Vidyam praha. Tam itaha vispashtam bruve. Tam itaha vispashtam bruve. Ajātasatruhu. Ajātasatru is the name of a king. He was a king of Kashi, what will be told afterward. He was king of Kashi. He has got the name Ajātasatru. Do you know anyone else has got this name Ajātasatru? Who? Dharmaraja. Dharmaraja was called as Ajātasatru. Who is Ajātasatru? That means one for whom there is no enemy. The one for whom there is no enemy, he is what is Ajātasatru. Now Dharmaraja is called Ajātasatru because Dharmaraja doesn't have any enemy. Duryodhana may be the enemy, but Duryodhana has the enmity with whom? Dharmaraja, but Dharmaraja had no enmity with Duryodhana as such. Even he had to kill to establish the dharma because he is the actual king and not the Duryodhana. So he was given the long rope, but finally he had to be put down. So, but in the heart of hearts, he had no enmity with the Duryodhana as such. So he is called as Ajātasatru as an epithet. Here in this case, Ajātasatru may be his name, but even if it is named by the virtue of his accomplishment, he is Ajātasatru. In some other chapters, in some other Upanishad, I thought, who clicked the flash to take photograph? Before that, not after that, before that click was there. And said, how? There is no camera anywhere as such. I was wondering. Anyway, so now, so in other chapter, it will be shown that one who has got Brahma Jnana becomes Ajatasatru. How will be seen, that is a different thing. It is not in this chapter as such. So Ajatasatru. But this king really was Ajatasatru because so he was such a dharmic person, he was mighty and powerful, and he used to treat everyone well. No one was an enemy of him. Plus he had the Brahma Jnana. He was not an ordinary person, he was a Jnani. So like Janaka, he was a Jnani. Now he says that Ajatasatru. The episode is like this. There was a Brahmana called Balaki. Balakasya putraha Balakihi. The son of Balaka is called Balaki. This person was very proud of himself. He was actually a prana upasaka. He was doing upasana of prana. But he mistook the prana itself as Brahma. So mistook the prana as Brahma. And what he was doing was, he was touring different places and he used to have discussion with the great scholars, and he was winning them and was telling that Brahma, prana is Brahma. And because of which he was very famous, Vikhyataha. And because of the fame, he had that pride and arrogance that there is no one like me. And he came to court of who? Ajatasatru, to Kashi. And straight away told, King, I am going to teach you Brahma Jnana. King himself was a Brahma Jnani. But he honored his statement because he said that he will teach Brahma Jnana because Brahma is so great that even if he said, for your very statement, I give you 1,000 cows. Elsewhere it is said, Janaka was encouraging such knowledge as such. So like Janaka, I say, it should be encouraged. So straight away he gave him 1,000 cows in honor of the very statement that he made that I will teach you Brahma Vidya. So because Brahma is so great, there is a prayer, Ashubhani nirachaste tanoti shubha santatim smruti matrena yat punsam brahma tan mangalam param. Generally before study of Brahma Sutra, there are certain stanzas to be chanted. Not only that, orthodox system is Dakshinamurti Stotra has to be chanted. And how to be chanted? Not sitting, standing up, and with each and every shloka of Dakshinamurti Namasi Gune, you have to do Sashtanga Namaskar. Sashtanga Namaskara, that is the style. Dakshinamurti Stotra, after there are certain shlokas in which comes Ashubhani nirachaste tanoti shubha santatim smruti matrena yat punsam brahmatan mangalam param. That Brahma is something mangalam, shubhakaram, anakaram. So that is param, it is beyond all limitations. What is that Brahma? Smruti matrena yat. By just remembering Ashubhani nirachaste, dispels all ashubhas, all sorrows. Tanoti shubha santatim. That means it bestows nothing but the shubha santatim means good, it bestows, ananda it bestows. That Brahma, by just remembrance which can do that, so that is something great, param. So like this person offered to teach Brahma Vidya, though king has got Brahma Jnana, so in honor of that, he straight away gave him 1,000 cows. But when Balaki taught, Ajatasatru came to know this fellow is not a Brahma Jnani. He is only a Prana Upasaka. So he said, look, don't say that. It is not correct. What you say is Prana, I know it. Not only he said, I know it, whatever Balaki didn't know, he supplemented. So while doing Upasana, that Upasya Prana, with what gunas it is to be meditated, Balaki didn't know these are the gunas with which it is to be meditated. And this is the phala of these upasanas he supplemented, and he said, but don't tell this as Brahma, it is not so. Actually, I'd say it's not here in some. By the by, one more thing. This Ajatasatru and Balaki Samvada, the teaching, besides this second chapter of Brihadaranyaka, also is there in Kaushitaki Upanishad. Kaushitaki Upanishad has got 4 chapters. First chapters, 2 chapters deal with upasanas. 2 upasanas, one Paryanka Upasana, other is Prana Upasana. Third chapter is Indra Pratardana Samvada. Indra's teaching of Adhyatma to Pratardana, another king of Kashi only. So that, and fourth one is Balaki Vidya, is the same teaching of Ajatasatru to Balaki. Though there are some common aspects between these two, other aspects are totally distinct. So what is found, the teaching found in Kaushitaki Upanishad and here, little similarity is there, but many distinct aspects are there. So you may wonder, how is it if it is the teaching of the one and the same teacher to the one and the same student, how it differs, 2 different types of teaching. There is nothing like clashing with each other. Both are supplementary to each other. Then how? It depends on who reports it. It is the case of reporting. The one who has reported highlighted different aspects as such, so therefore both have to be joined together. This is the style in the Vedas. In the Mimamsa we find even the Karma Kanda, a particular ritual, how it is to be done. In some section you find it, some aspect, in some other aspect you find still other things. So the rule is that you have to take the aggregate of all these limbs, avayavas, and make the karma full. That is why Kalpa Shastra comes. In Kalpa Shastra, all these are put together, and this ritual has to be performed like this. In Mimamsa, Pura Mimamsa, all these are analyzed and how they have to be called. Even in Brahma Vidya also, in the Brahma Vidya Uttara Mimamsa also, certain aspects which are not clearly told in some Upanishads have to be borrowed from other Upanishads. So like that, they are supplementary to each other. Just like, see, Ramayana, Rama is one, Sita is one, Dasharatha is one, Ravana is one, everything is one. But there are, especially in Sanskrit, Adhyatma Ramayana and main is Valmiki Ramayana. In local, that means local languages there are many, but the main 2 are Adhyatma Ramayana and Valmiki Ramayana. But you will find the difference in the presentation. So there are certain things which are not found in the Valmiki Ramayana, found in the Adhyatma Ramayana, and many things that are there in the Adhyatma Ramayana are not in the Valmiki Ramayana. How do you explain this? Reported by 2 different persons. So Valmiki presented Rama as the one who is seen on the stage. Suppose a drama is enacted, in which, this explanation given by Satya Sai Baba, so drama is enacted in which a particular, let us say, Mr. Das, not our Das, okay. So Mr. Das is enacting the role of who? Rama. And not like nowadays, no, before that drama or movie starts, who is who, etc. given, no. The odd spectators don't know who is playing the role of Rama. And the drama was so fine, all spectators was very happy. Rama acted very well. Rama, they know that it is drama, not the actual Rama has not come, that they don't. Okay? So, Rama acted very well. Rama acted very well. They praise. But behind the curtain, the green room, Mr. Das acted very well. Mr. Das acted very well because they know who is playing the role of who? Rama as such. So like that, Adhyatma Ramayana is what? Is more dealing with the one who played the role of Rama, who played the role of Rama, Parabrahma Tattva as very Ishvara. Therefore, at each juncture, you find Adhyatma there. Even when who? Hanuman sought the audience with whom? Ravana. Do you know how he sat? See how he can sit below Ravana. he coiled his tail and sat in an elevated place than who? Ravana. And the first dose he gave was, look, you are a Brahmana. He is a Brahmana. Ravana is a Brahmana. This is not befitting for you. He gave the dose of Vedanta. Everywhere you find nothing but Vedanta only. Few incidents which are not in Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana, are found there. But Valmiki has not dealt with that. He went in the dharma, the embodiment of dharma, how the ideal person has to enact in the world. From that standpoint, he described. But the stuff is one and the same. So like that, here Brihadaranyaka Upanishad might have highlighted certain aspects. There it might have been some other aspect. But both are true as such. As supplementary thing, we get the complete teaching. That doesn't mean this teaching is not complete. To gain the knowledge, this is sufficient. To gain the knowledge, that also is sufficient. But at the same time, Kaushitaki Upanishad has a specific status in the Upanishad, though it is not commented by who? Bhashakara. This Upanishad is the basis of two topics in Brahma Sutras. In Brahma Sutras, there are two topics, and the topics are based on Kaushitaka Upanishad, and in the discussion of Bhashya, it is very elaborately discussed. That is the reason why Vidyaranya Muni devotes two separate chapters for these two adhyayas of Kaushitaka Upanishad. Yes, chapter 8 and 9 deal with of this book, of this Anubhuti Prakasha. Chapters 8 and 9 deal with Indra Pradharna Samvada, and ninth one is this Balaki Vidya Prakasha as such, because that has got a importance, because certain aspects which are not highlighted here, there it has been highlighted. Otherwise, Vidyaranya Muni will not devote two chapters for that reason. Because he has dealt with Brihadaranyaka elaborately, he didn't comment on Ishavasya Upanishad. Because he has commented here Nrisimha Uttara Tapani Upanishad, he didn't bother about the Mandukya Upanishad. So he would not have commented on Kaushitaki, because this is there, but there is something which needs to be highlighted, and they are very important. Kaushitaki Upanishad is a very important thing as such. So that is what he has so highlighted there as in separate chapter. So now, this Balaki, so what's told? Says, don't say all that. Finally, he exhausted his armors, and all was about prana upasana from different standpoints. Finally said, Balaki, there is in some other this thing, Pluta is there. Pluta at times is meant for the Pluta, the meaning of Pluta differs. At many times it means no ninda, censure. Balaki, is this that you know as Brahma? Means he cut him to his own size because he had that pride as such. You may wonder, why should he humiliate? In fact, Balaki got humiliated. Balaki, because he was a Brahmana, and a Kshatriya king is telling that he is wrong, and he doesn't. What you said is not Brahma, it is only prana. He gets humiliated. No. In fact, AJATASATRU being what it is, he has all kindness and love towards him only, but at the same time, he wanted to cut down his pride, because this pride is useless and is of no use as far as gaining Brahma Vidya is concerned. Other aspect is, AJATASATRU was a king, and it is king's duty to set right the behavior of all others, including Brahmanas. Those days when Varnashrama system was properly practiced, Brahmana was superior to Kshatriya. Here also we will find that he was superior to the thing. But as a king, a Kshatriya had all rights to punish the Brahmana, only short of capital punishment. Suppose a Brahmana had committed such a heinous crime which deserves capital punishment, only because he is a Brahmana, that capital punishment is not given, he is debarred from the kingdom. Otherwise the king had all rights to punish him. So here, who? Ajatashatru can find this person is a pranopasaka, and because of upasana, within no time he can make himself eligible to gain the Brahmadhyana. Because of that pride, he will not be able to gain, so therefore he had cut him to his own side. Balaki also was a cultured person. Maybe he was proud, but he had the culture as such. So he discovered his mistake, and he knew that I should gain the Brahma Jnana without delay. Samit Pani. So with Samit in his hand, he approaches the king, even though he is a Brahmana. So that means to gain Brahma Jnana, he didn't consider himself to be superior, and he found that here is a person who has got the Brahma Jnana. He straight away approaches him with Upasannaha. Those things are not detailed here. So he approaches him with Samit Pani as a shish. If he says, if you permit me, I would like to be your Shishya. Please teach me. That means impart me Brahma Jnana. Now this is how the culture is. Ajatasatru refuses. He said, no, it's not possible. Why? You are a Brahmana. I am a Kshatriya. This is a Pratiloma. Pratiloma means against, it is a Viruddha to the custom. But he doesn't disappoint him. He doesn't accept him as the disciple. At the same time, he doesn't disappoint him. He said, come with me. I'll certainly demonstrate to you what exactly is Brahma, though I will not accept you as a direct disciple. So that's what it does. So you see, this shows who Balaki, though a Brahmana, not nowadays. Nowadays there is no Varnasrama system practice. In those is very strict. So though Brahmana, he sets aside all that superiority and approaches it with the right attitude. That Samit Pani shows the humility and that attitude to serve, even though he is a Kshatriya, because he has got the Brahma Jnana. It is the greatness Brahma Jnana. He approaches. At the same time, as a matter of culture and etiquette, so who king doesn't accept him as his thing, so but he also takes care that this person is a very serious mumukshu. He should not be deprived of the Brahma Jnana. So what he says? He says, come with me. And holds his hand and takes him into the inner apartment. Why? So this should, as a Guru Shishya, it should not be discussed. And in the royal court means there are many people. It should not be discussed that way. He takes aside, and how it will be seen afterwards, as said. So, and also it is elsewhere it is said in Bhashya or somewhere, Sasneham. Not humiliating him as you are a fool, idiot, you don't know, come, I will teach you. No, with all love, with respect, because see, as a matter, he holds his hand and leads him to the inner apartment. So otherwise, though, that attitude will not be there. So that this attitude is very important, and tuning up between the teacher and the taught also is very important. If some discordant note is there, what happens? The teaching doesn't work. It is not possible at all. That's why in Shastras also there are many things. Anything that can bring disharmony between the relation of Guru and the Shishya has to be meticulously avoided. For example, Sahanao, Sahanao to Sahanao Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavai. All what? Together. Ma vidvishavahai. Let us not hate each other. Hatred is there, means teaching is possible. The mind is blocked as such. Either the teacher can't teach properly, nor the student can receive properly. That is there. Even I think in Manusmriti or somewhere it is said, say, there should never be any commercial dealing between Guru and the Shishya, like no purchase and sale should never be there, because such dealings have got their own drawbacks and can corrupt the mind. That is said. I don't remember exactly. It must be in Manusmriti. So purchase and selling, such commercial dealing should never be between the Guru and the Shishya, because it can corrupt the mind of the either, or something can happen. So that attitude, etc. must be there. Again, in the Kaushitaka Upanishad it said, Brahma Vidya has to be gained setting aside all pride, etc. As who did it? Balaki did it. Brahma Vidya should be taught as Ajatasatru, because Ajatasatru, when he demonstrated him, asked a few questions, and he could find Balaki. In fact, that Ajatasatru demonstrated him prana is inert and the jiva distinct from prana, as prana he pointed out. Balaki thought that, oh, I got Brahma Jnana now. Why? Not prana but jiva is the Brahma. He thought that way and he didn't, in fact he was supposed to probe further. He didn't ask anything further and he was very happy. That is not here as such. He was very happy. Ajatasatru found that he has again misunderstood that this is what Brahma. So he asked further questions to make him understand. Balaki could not answer. Then on his own he goes. Like that it turns out, like Ajatasatru, if a serious mumukshu is found, all efforts needs to be put forth on the part of the one who has got Brahma Jnana, even though he has not accepted as the Shishya, but it has to be made known. This is at the conclusion of Vidyaranya Muni himself tells at the conclusion of Balaki Vidya Prakasha there. So that shows the culture also. So Ajatasatru, though he had cut him to his size from his own good, but afterwards he didn't humiliate him with all affection. So otherwise the mind again says, further if he gets humiliated, it's not available for learning. So with all love he taught. So that is what we'll find here now. Ajatasatruhu, he says, Chaturthe Adhyaye. As usual, you should know now, this fourth Adhyaya means fourth Adhyaya of Brihadaranyaka. And when it is Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, it is second Adhyaya. So the Chaturthe means Chaturtha, fourth Adhyaya of Aranyaka, whereas the second chapter of Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. So what he did, Tribhihi Brahmanaihi, by three Brahmanas, namely Ajatasatru Brahmana, Shishu Brahmana. So Shishu Brahmana, the Shishu Brahmana means there is no Shishu child there. That Shishu is Mukhya Prana. Mukhya Prana itself is called as Shishu. So Shishu Brahmana, Murta Brahmana. So Tribhi Brahmanai Balakaye, to Balaki Vidyam Praha. He taught the Vidya. See, first Brahmana is called Ajatasatru Brahmana. Generally one may take Ajatasatru's teaching to Balaki is only in the Ajatasatru Brahmana. No. Even the subsequent Brahmana and Murta Brahmana also, though it is not very clear in the Brahmana, the same teaching continues. Ajatasatru's teaching to Balaki continues in this, and those three Brahmanas. Balakaye Vidyam Praha. What Vidya? Atma Vidya, Brahma Vidyam Praha. Tam means all those three Brahmanas, means the teaching of those three Brahmanas. Itaha, henceforth, here in this chapter and the subsequent, in this chapter only, in terms of these three Brahmanas, Itaha, Vispashtam Bruve. So I am teaching very clearly, so that any doubts, difficulties are there, so will be clarified. So this way, so we get the Tatparya or essence of the teaching of Ajatasatru Brahmana, Shishu Brahmana and Murta Brahmana, these three Brahmanas in this particular chapter called Ajatasatru Vidya Prakasha. About the remaining three chapters, that is fourth Brahmana is Maitreyi Brahmana, will be explained in the 15th chapter here. Maitreyi Brahmana, the same chapter, whereas the fifth Brahmana called Madhu Brahmana will be explained in the 16th chapter. Whereas the sixth Brahmana is Vamsha Parampara Brahmana of Madhu Vidya, one more stanza devoted in the 16th chapter. There is no separate chapter for that. So here that he introduces the topic. Now, this king is shown to be really Ajatasatru, true to his name. Ajatasatrur Brahmatma Vedanat Shauryato Picha. Antarbahishcha Nishatru Kasham Raja Babhuvaha. Anvaya Brahmatma Vedanat Shauryataha apicha Antaha Bahishcha Nishatruhu Ajatasatruhu Kasham Raja Babhuva Antarbahishcha Nishatruhu Ajatasatruhu Kasham Raja Apicha, because of his shaurya, the might, the power. Because why? See, if a king is strong, others will think twice to attack him, etc. See, the real ahimsa, if you want to exercise yourself, be very mighty and powerful. Don't misuse the might, that power, that's fine. But if you are weak, what happens? Others will start bullying. You can't practice ahimsa as such. So, there is shauryataha picha, because of his shaurya, that is prowess. So he was nishatruhu, free from enemies. Where antaha bahishcha nishatruhu. He had no enemies outside nor within. Outside he had no enemies. Why? Everything is nothing but Brahma Swarupa. Even if someone may have enmity towards him, he has no enmity because he knows that everything is Brahma, including who? The enemy. That's why in the Rudra says, Namo Namo Stenanam Pataye Namaha. My namaskara to who? Rudra. And who is that Rudra? Stenanam Pati, the chief dacoit. He also is who? Brahma only. There is nothing other than Brahma. Like that, he had, because he had that Brahma Jnana, there is nothing other than Brahma, so he had no enemies. Also, Antaha, Bahishcha, okay. Antaha, inside also he had no enemy. What are the inside enemies? Kama, Krodha, Moha, Mada, Matsara, etc. He had no, because of Brahma Jnana. Because so long as these are there, he can't gain the Brahma Jnana. Outside, inside, he was Nishatruhu, without Shatru, and therefore, true to his name, that Ajatasatru, he was really Ajatasatru. Otherwise, at times what happens? Name is Lakshmi. at home, there is nothing for the meals as such. In Maharashtra, there is a surname, Kshir Sagar, but not a drop of milk at home. Surname is Kshir. You know what is Kshir Sagar? Milky ocean. Milky ocean. But at home, not a single drop of milk is there. So not that way. So Arthataha means true to his name. Lakshmi also had Lakshmi like that. Name is Ajatasatru, but truly also he was Ajatasatru. Not because of might and power, also because of Brahma Jnana. Such Ajatasatru, Kasham Raja Babhuvaha. Such a king was there where? In the Kashi. Then what happened? Then our Mr. Balaki comes. Garga Gotraja Viproyam Balakir Naiva Tattvavit. Kintu Pranopasakoyam Darpena Mahatavritah. Ayam Garga Gotraja Vipraha Balakihi Tattvavit Naiva Kintu Ayam Pranopasakaha add Asit. Ayam Pranopasakaha add Asit. Mahata Darpena Avrutaha cha Asit. Mahata Darpena Avrutaha cha to be added. Asit also again to be added. Ayam Garga Gotraja Vipraha Balaki. Ayam Vipraha, this Brahmana. So who is the Garga Gotrajaha? So from the Gotra, the lineage called Garga. That's why for Balaki at places, Gargyaha name also is available. At places he is here also, he is called, referred as Gargyaha, means Balaki. Why? He is coming from Garga Gotra. So Gargyaha, Garga Gotra Vipraha. Balaki, by name Balaki, actually Tattvavit Naiva. He is not a Brahmajnani. He doesn't know what Brahma is. Who is he then? Kintu, whereas Ayam Pranopasakaha Asi. Certainly he was a Upasaka of Prana. Pranopasana he was doing, that is true, but he was not at all a Brahmajnani. And at the same time his nature was like this. Mahata Darpena Avrutascha. So he was very proud of himself, as if he has got the Brahmajnana. That is what he was doing. He was going here and there and talking about the Upasana, and they also don't know what is Upasana, nor they know what is Brahma, and he was telling that this is what Brahma, and therefore he considered himself to be great. So Mahata Darpena Avrutaha. He was, that is he had that conceit, or that he thought himself to be a great Brahmajnani, so he is very proud. So what exactly was Balaki's understanding? Let us see now. Adhyatmamadi daivam cha brahma syat prana devata. Samashti vyashti rupa saviti gargyasya nishchayaha. Adhyatmam adhidaivam cha prana devata brahmasya. Adhyatmam adhidaivam cha prana devata brahmasya. Asau samashti vashti rupaha. Asau samashti vashti rupaha iti gargyasya nishchayaha. Iti gargyasya nishchayaha. Adhyatmam adhidaivam cha prana devata. Prana devata. The prana devata, the prana, you can take Hiranyagarbha also, but only the upadhi wise as such. So the prana at both the levels, Adhyatma level and Adhidaiva level. At the Adhyatma, microcosmic level, individual level, Veshti level, and Adhidaiva, Samashti, macrocosmic level, Brahmasya. So Brahma is what? Prana itself is Brahma. That was his concept. And that Asau, this Prana Devata, which is Brahma, so Samashti Veshti Rupa. Samashti Rupa means Adhidaiva Prana. Veshti Rupa is Adhyatma Prana. So that is, there is Sandhi like this. Samashti Veshti Rupa Asau iti Gargyasya Nishchayaha. Asau means the Prana Devata, which itself is Brahma, is of such nature. What nature? Samashti Rupa means it is Adhidaiva Prana. Again Veshti Rupa, Adhyatma Prana. So this is what Asau iti Gargyasya Nishchayaha. This was the ascertainment of Gargya. In this manner, Gargya was taking Prana Devata itself as Brahma. There Samashti Veshti Rupa. Rupa word is in feminine because Devata word is feminine. So Devata word being feminine, gender, so Rupa also is in feminine. So this is what he thought. Prana Devata itself is Brahma, that is Brahma. Now what did Ajatasatru knew? He says, this Prana Devata cannot be Brahma. Ajatasatru knew because he knew what exactly is Brahma. Ravyadya Veshtaya Prokta Samashtistu Virat Bhavet. Na Mukhya Brahma Taitesham iti Rajno Vinirnayaha. So thereafter, what happens is, you take Anvaya, Ravyadyaha Veshtayaha Proktaha, add Tesham Samashtistu Virat Bhavet. Tesham Samashtistu Virat Bhavet. Their Sandhi breaking, Na Mak, first Sandhi, Mukhya Brahmata Etesham Iti. Mukhya Brahmata Etesham Iti. Anvaya, Etesham Mukhya Brahmata Na Iti Rajnyaha Vinirnayaha. Rajnyaha Vinirnayaha. So having offered to teach Brahma to whom? No, Balaki offered to teach Brahma to Ajatasatru. He starts, then Ajatasatru takes that he must be Brahmajnani, so he encourages him. Though he knows what Brahma is, he encourages him. But what he speaks is only Prana Upasana. In what all the loci, the sthanas, the Prana Upasana has to be done one by one, who Balaki is enumerating. What are those that are referred here? Ravyadyaha Veshtayaha Proktaha. There in the Upanishad, this is what is there. So Aditya Chakshushiv Ekaha. So what he says is this too. Prana Devata in the Adhidaiva level, corresponding at the Adhyatma level. Now, Prana Devata in the Aditya, who is that? Ravi, the sun. Who is the counterpart of that Ravi as Prana Devata in the embodiment? Chakshuhu. So Chakshu, therefore that is said, Aditya Chakshushi Ekaha Purushaha. Actually the mantra is Aditya Purushaha, like that, but we should know Aditya for Ravi and Chakshushi in the eye, the one Prana Devata that is there, that I meditate upon. That is, see, that is he says. Everywhere he says, I meditate upon this, etc. Means what? You also meditate upon this. That is what Brahma, that is what Balaki means it. So those he has not explicitly told, that is what it means it. So Aditya Purushaha then means the Purusha who is identified with the Aditya and the Chakshu, that Prana Devata, that is what Brahma, that is what Balaki means. So then Chandre Manasi Purushaha. Chandre Purushaha means Manasi also to be taken. The Prana Devata in the Chandra, counterpart at the individual level at mind. So that Purusha I meditate upon as the who? The Brahma. Vidyati Tvachi. Vidyat, the lightning. So means, see, Vidyat etc. may be Upadhi. But in Upadhi, whatever Prana Devata is there, that is to be taken. Here our Indriyas may be there, but the Indriyas presided over by those particular Devatas, that aspect also has to be taken. That way Prana is, that is to be taken. The Sthana differs, that is locus differs, but the Devata has to be taken. Vidyuti Tvachi, the sense of touch, the skin. So that is what the Devata. Akashe, Hridakashe cha eka Devata. In the Akasha and Hridayakasha, whatever Devata that is there. Vayau Prani. Vayu, this is not total mantra, I have added this, the counterpart I have added at the individual level. Vayau Prani. In Vayu, the Prana, the individual vital airs in the embodiment, total Vayu externally. Agnau Vachi Hridicha. Agnau, in the fire. Vachi, because the presiding deity of speech is who? Fire. So that's what Vachi Hridicha. I hope you know that. Presiding deity of speech is, that's why in a very chill winter you don't feel like talking. And these musicians know for a good while, do you know what they do? They are supposed to eat lot of ghee. Why? The ghee, etc. Oil, ghee have got fire content more as such. That way ghee also is meant for memory. Not nowadays. Nowadays, other problem will start. Especially, Panini grammar before teaching is done. The olden days, the students are supposed to mug up all the sutras, but they have to have a sharp memory. So therefore, what is required is ghee. Even I don't know as on today, but at least 10 years back I knew somewhere near Delhi there is a Bahalgarh or something. There one brahmachari. Brahmachari means he is a very old person. So he is living a life of brahmachari. Arya Samaj, this thing is. So he is teaching students, and who they are supposed to take this much of ghee because he will not teach unless he commits the sutras to memory, and certain period is given, and during that period ghee is compulsorily given. Why? To develop the memory. That's okay. So therefore that's fine here. Agnau vachi, and there's a fire and that speech, that Purusha. Apsu retasi, in water and the retas counterpart at the individual level. Adarshe prasada swabhavecha, in the mirror, and anything that is very clear, because for reflection a very clear surface is required. So that way, further, yantam paschat shabdah anudeti. See, look at this is in the book, this Brihadaranyaka, you can find it. So somehow I have not noted the reference as such. You can find the reference there. It is there. In the beginning only it should be there. So this is all he speaks of the upasana there. Yantam paschat shabdaha anudeti. So it's like this. See, where all the upasana is taken. A person is walking. While walking, some sound is there or not? Some sound. In that Purusha, with that upadhi, because without prana devata he can't walk as such. So in that upadhi, that is what the devata has to be meditated upon. So again, counterpart is the prana, because of it the body is able to survive. Dikshu, in the quarters, counterpart is karna, the ear. Chayamayaha purushaha, in the shadow of the embodiment, that with that upadhi as the Purusha, prana devata, counterpart at the individual level, ajnana, ignorance of oneself. Then Atmani stands there for buddhi, So buddhau, that is the buddhau, and counter that is actually Atma for Prajapati at the total level, individual level it is buddhi. Like this, there are about 12 places are told where in the Brihadaranyaka. Whereas in Kaushitaka Upanishad we find 16 places of taking to upasana. Some are new here, some mentioned here are not there, some mentioned there are not here. As upasana, all these are useful, but our context is not of upasana. So like this, what did this Balaki do? This all Veshtis at individual level, where all this prana upasana can be taken to, that he said with the wrong notion that itself is what? Brahma. So Ajatasatru knew this is not true, to point out that. Now take the stanza. Ravyadya Veshtayaha Proktaha. Ravi Adi, the sun, the moon, so then Vidyut, Vayu, Agni, like this, all these are what? Veshtayaha. Veshtaya means what? Individual, that is sthanas or individuals. Whereas Samashtistu Virat Bhavi. Samashti, the aggregate of all these individual devatas or individual sthanas you put together, it becomes what? Virat, the macrocosmic. The macrocosmic devata it becomes. But and this is what at individual level and the total level, prana as Brahma, who thought? Balaki, but Ajatasatru knew this. Etesham means Ravi Adi at the Veshti level, individual level, Virat at the Samashti, total level. So Etesham Mukhya Brahmata na iti. They don't have the statuses of becoming Mukhya Brahma iti. Who knew? Rajnaha Vinirnayaha. The king's ascertainment was whether at individual levels, sun, moon, etc., at totality level, Virat, these cannot be who? Brahma. It cannot Brahma. This is what ascertainment of Ajatasatru, because he knew what Brahma is, whereas Balaki didn't know what Brahma is, therefore he mistook the Pran Devata at both Veshti and Samashti, or otherwise called Adhyatma Adhidaiva level, as Brahma. So therefore this is the conclusion now. Tasmad upasako gargyo na mukhyam brahma vetyataha. Anvaya vyatirikabhyam bodhayamasa tam nrupaha. Tasmad gargyaha upasakaha mukhyam brahma naveti. Mukhyam brahma naveti ataha dhrupaha अन्वय व्यतिरेकाभ्याम तम बोधयामास. अन्वय व्यतिरेकाभ्याम ध्रुपः अन्वय व्यतिरेकाभ्याम tam bodhayamasa. So therefore, having heard what Balaki said, king concluded. And because, of course, here the story is not given, what translation is not given. He asked, is this all you know? He said yes. He said, this is not Brahma. Afterwards he keeps quiet. Who? Balaki keeps quiet. And afterward he surrenders to him, approaches him with a Shishya. He doesn't, all these things is not told here. He doesn't accept, but certainly offers him to make know what Brahma is. So therefore, this is the conclusion. Tasma, because he mistook that Prana Devata at Adhyatma and Adhidaiva level as Brahma, he knows not what Brahma is. Gargyaha. See, here the word is not Balaki, Gargyaha. Balaki only. So Gargyaha Upasakaha is only a Prana Upasaka and not a Brahma Jnani. So therefore, Mukhyam Brahma Naveti. He doesn't know Mukhya Brahma. Why is called Mukhya Brahma? He doesn't know. He knows which Brahma? Gauna Brahma he knows. Saguna Brahma. Prana is Saguna Brahma, but not the Mukhya Brahma. He doesn't know. Not only he knows not, but he has mistaken the secondary Brahma as Mukhya Brahma. Therefore, of course, he who Balaki approaches him as a Shishya, he doesn't accept for the reason that we have seen, but certainly he chooses him to teach because he could find that, see, even a Brahmana giving up the pride and approaching a Kshatriya as a Shishya itself shows that he is very serious to gain the knowledge. So king didn't want to disappoint him, and therefore, Ataha, because he doesn't know what Mukhya Brahma is, so what does Nrupa Ajatasatru do? He said, Anvaya Vyatireka tam bodhayamasa. He didn't take to the direct teaching as such, accepting him as the disciple, but certainly what did he do? Anvaya Vyatireka, by the method of Anvaya and Vyatireka. So what did he do? Bodhayamasa, taught him what Brahma is. The question is, Anvaya Vyatireka of what? What is Anvaya Vyatireka? Anvaya, continuance or presence. Vyatireka is discontinuance or absence. Is it not? Question is of what? Here, that is the Vijnanamaya Bhokta. The Bhokta, the one who is experiencing because of being conditioned by the Antakarana Buddhi, so that is my Jiva, and the Prana. The one who is able to experience the Bhogya in the waking and the dream. What is necessary? Right now you are listening to me. What all things are necessary for you? To begin with, physical body is required or not? Otherwise you will not be able to come here. Mere physical body is not enough. What is required? Mind, intellect, antakarana is required. Pranas, of course, without that body will not function or is required. So now, this is what presents. In the dream, physical body may not be there, antakarna is there, you are able to experience many things. Prana also is there. In sleep what happens? This bhokta vijnanamayaha, that is one who is conditioned by antakarna, available as the experiencer is not available. Why? Antakarna itself is not available. Prana continues or not. Anvaya of prana, Vyatireka of this jiva who was a bhokta conditioned by Vijnanamaya kosha or antakarna. So at that time when prana is there and this one who is experiencing is not available, prana is pointed out as inert. One who is not able to experience anything, he demonstrates that way, and therefore he is inert. And inert thing cannot be Mukhya Brahma at all. So therefore, then he will say, who is this Vijnanamaya Bhokta? Then he ascertains what is the Brahma Swarupa. So that is what is called as, so Anvaya Vyatireka of Vijnanamaya Bhokta means Atma conditioned by Antakarna or Buddhi, the individual Jiva as one, other one is Prana. Of this Anvaya Vyatireka is seen, ascertained, based on that. So he makes him know what Brahma is. Syad vijnanamayo bhokta na prana iti jagare. Viveko dushako yasmadatra dvavapi susthitau. So what he does is, he holds him by the hand with all love and respect. He takes him to inside, that is inner apartment. There some person was sleeping. Don't ask what time it was and all that, okay? So some person was sleeping and he calls him. Calls by which name? He calls by the names addressed to prana in the Shastra. It will be told here. The names of prana as per the Shastra. So, Brihan, Pandravasaha, Soma, Rajan, he calls him. That fellow doesn't get up at all. Then he takes a stick and beats him. Maybe mildly, possibly not. That fellow must have got shocked. Who? King with some stranger is there. He must have got he hits him and then he wakes up. He must have pacified him, don't worry, he must have smiled and said, if the king smiles, he must be knowing a joke, etc. That fellow is dismissed. But the dialogue between who? King and Balagi continues. He says, where was this person earlier? From where he has come? Why did he not know earlier? Why did he not respond? I called him by prana's names, etc. So why he responded afterward? Like this, he goes on analyzing and shows prana was there at that time and not the bhokta jiva, therefore he could not respond, etc. So it goes on, that is what he says. So now, the question is, why he has to resort to a sleeping person? If he wants to point out pranas are inert, why not in the waking itself he can demonstrate pranas are inert, are not able to experience? Because in the waking, pranas and this Vijnanamaya jiva, that is Atma conditioned by Antakarna, are both very prominent, therefore difficult to distinguish. So one fellow is put off. Who is put off? The Vijnanamaya bhokta not put off, he is off by himself, otherwise the person is not going to sleep. Who is available? Only prana is available, so easy to distinguish. That is now brought to our notice. Anvaya, Jagare Vijnanamayaha Bhokta Pranaha Na Iti Pranaha Na Iti Vivekaha Dushakaha Syat. First word Syat. Vivekaha Dushakaha Syat. Yasmat Atra Dvau api Dvavapi. Atra Dvau api Susthitau. Dvau api Susthitau. So he points out this is the reason why this Anvaya Vyatireka analysis cannot be conducted in the waking state, and why it is being conducted in sleep. He gives the reason. We'll see that. Swastik Praja